Every year, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls. That's 14 million people hitting the floor. And it costs the US healthcare system about $50 billion. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Falling down isn't just bad luck. It's the hidden engine of a multi-billion-dollar business. And the stairs in your home are the quietest salesperson you've ever met. You're about to see your house in a completely different way. You're about to see why home builders are quietly killing the second floor. You're about to see why the fix is more profitable than the failure. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly who's making money off every step you take after 70. And you'll never look at a staircase the same way again. Think about the last time you walked up a flight of stairs without thinking about it. Now imagine being 78 and doing that same walk with bad knees, weak ankles, and dim lighting. Suddenly those stairs aren't architecture anymore. They're a financial trap. And you're standing right in the middle of it.
Let's start with the number that should make you angry. $50 billion. That's the annual medical cost of non-fatal falls among older adults. Add another $754 million for fatal falls. Medicare pays about $29 billion of that. Private insurance and out-of-pocket payers cover $12 billion. Medicaid picks up $9 billion. This isn't a rounding error in the healthcare budget. This is a GDP-sized hole that someone is profiting from.
Now here's where it gets weird. The industry that makes the most money from those falls isn't the hospitals. It's not the nursing homes either. It's the businesses selling you ways to avoid falling in the first place. Think about that for a second. The failure is the loss leader. The prevention is the profit engine. That's corporate strategy so clean it almost feels like magic. But it's not magic. It's economics. Here's a question for you before we dive deeper. Have you ever bought something because you were afraid of getting hurt? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious how many of us have paid for safety without even realizing it.
Let me show you the 3 industries fighting over your fear of falling. First, the stair lift industry. This is the market for those motorized chairs that glide up and down your staircase. In 2025, the global stair lift market was valued at about $1.1 to $1.7 billion. By 2032, it's expected to reach $1.6 to $3.1 billion. That's a compound annual growth rate of roughly 5 to 7%. Companies like Savaria, Stana, and Acorn Mobility are the big players here. They're not selling luxury. They're selling independence. And independence, my friends, is a very expensive thing to buy. A basic straight rail stair lift costs between $3,000 and $5,000 installed. Curved rail systems? Those can run $10,000 to $15,000 easily. And here's the kicker. Most of these purchases are not planned. They happen after a scare, after a near fall, after a doctor says, you really shouldn't be climbing those anymore. That's not a sale. That's an intervention. And it's a very profitable one. Quick pause. If you've ever looked at your parents' house and wondered, should they still be using those stairs? Hit subscribe. You're exactly the kind of person this channel was made for. And I promise, you'll sleep better knowing how this game actually works. Second, the aging in place renovation industry. This is the market for grab bars, ramps, bathroom modifications, kitchen remodels, and smart home installations designed to keep seniors in their own homes. In 2024, this market was valued at somewhere between $38.6 billion and $98.5 billion. By 2033, it's projected to hit $86 to $211 billion. That's a growth rate of 8.9 to 9.4%, almost twice as fast as the stairlift market. Why? Because prevention is a bigger story than adaptation. You don't just want to climb the stairs anymore. You want to never need to climb them at all. A bathroom remodel for accessibility can cost $5,000 to $25,000, depending on scope. A full first floor primary suite edition? That's $50,000 to $150,000 in many markets. And people are paying for it. Because the alternative is admitting you can't live in your own house anymore. And that's a much harder pill to swallow than a $20,000 invoice. This is where consumer psychology gets really interesting. People will spend fortunes to avoid feeling old, but they'll resist a $4,000 stair lift because it makes them feel old. Make that make sense? It doesn't, but it's true. And the renovation industry knows it. Third, the nursing home industry.
This is supposed to be the end destination of the fear economy, the place you go when prevention fails. But here's the plot twist. 65% of nursing homes operate at a loss. 90% run at a loss or under a 3% profit margin. Skilled nursing profits are projected to keep shrinking through 2026. The industry that treats the failure is losing money. The industry selling prevention are growing like weeds. That's the hidden incentive structure right there. And it explains everything about how this game is played. Think about how backwards this is. The businesses that keep you out of the nursing home are thriving. The businesses that take you in when you can't stay home are barely surviving. It's like the gym industry making billions, while the hospitals that treat heart attacks are going bankrupt. The system is literally rewarding you for not needing it, and punishing the part that has to catch you when you fall. That's not an accident. That's a feature. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now let's talk about the hip fracture pipeline, because this is where the story gets personal. A hip fracture isn't just an injury. It's a one-way door for a huge share of seniors. About 83% of hip fracture hospitalizations end in transfer to a skilled nursing or rehab facility. People who fracture a hip spend an average of 334 days in a nursing facility over their lifetime. People who don't fracture a hip spend only 97 days. That's more than 3 times as long. Nursing home admission risk climbs sharply with age, from 3.2% of patients in their 60s to 22.4% of those in their 90s. One large study found new nursing home admissions occurred in 42% of hip fracture patients. Most of those admissions happened within the first 9 months after the fracture. So here's the chain reaction. You fall, you break your hip, you go to rehab, and you never really come home. And somewhere along that chain, money changes hands. A lot of money. A single hip fracture hospitalization averages $30,000 to $50,000 in direct medical costs. Add 6 months of rehab at $8,000 to $12,000 per month. Now you're looking at $80,000 to $120,000 per person. Multiply that by millions of falls, that's where the $50 billion comes from. It's not abstract. It's your neighbor, it's your aunt, it's possibly your future self. And every single one of those numbers represents a decision someone made about stairs, rugs, lighting, or grab bars. Small decisions, huge consequences. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Most people would rather spend $10,000 on a bathroom remodel than admit they need a stair lift. Why? Because a stair lift feels like surrender. It feels like you're giving up. It feels like you're becoming the person with the chair on the stairs. And nobody wants to be that person. So they renovate instead. They install grab bars. They move the bedroom to the first floor. They buy a single-story home. They do anything except put a motorized chair on their staircase. That's consumer psychology in action. That's behavioral economics you can feel in your bones. I want you to picture something. You're 75. You love your house. Your kids grew up in those rooms. Your grandkids know where the good cookies are hidden. Now, someone tells you to put a motorized chair on your staircase. It's not just a product. It's a symbol. It says, you can't do this anymore. You're not who you used to be. Compare that to a bathroom remodel. That says, I'm upgrading. I'm being smart. I'm taking control. Same outcome. Completely different story. And the market prices those stories accordingly. Here's a fun question for you. What's something you've bought or upgraded purely because it made you feel more independent? Mine is probably my car. Yours might be a phone, a gym membership, or a really nice pair of walking shoes. Let's see what independence looks like in the comments. Home builders have quietly discovered that single-story homes now sell at roughly a 10% price premium over comparable two-story homes. This premium ranges from 5 to 16% depending on the market. Of over 22,000 US survey respondents, 51% said they prefer a one-story home. This isn't just retirees. Young families and couples are chasing the same layout. In Australia, single-level home searches jumped 72% recently, driven by boomers who don't want a property with stairs. Ranch-style homes are seeing a real resurgence in 2025 search interest, tied directly to affordability and accessibility demand. An entire housing typology, the two-story family home, long the default aspirational build, is being quietly deprioritized by the market because of a demographic wave that doesn't want to climb anything. Builders are responding. New construction permits for single-story homes have climbed steadily since 2020. In some Sunbelt markets, over 60% of new builds are now single level. That's a massive shift in just a few years. And it's not just about old people. Millennials with young kids are realizing stairs are annoying when you're carrying a toddler in a grocery bag. So the same feature that pushes retirees out also pushes young families in. That's a rare alignment in real estate, and it's reshaping entire neighborhoods. If you're watching this and thinking, wait, my house has stairs and I'm not selling, relax. This isn't a panic video. It's an awareness video. Knowledge is power, and now you know why your realtor keeps mentioning ranch homes. Before we continue, if you've ever looked at a staircase and thought, I'm not doing this forever, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It tells the algorithm you're a person with knees and not a bot with infinite stair climbing abilities. And honestly, it makes my day way better. Now, back to the money trail. Let's talk about who actually wins in this system. The stairlift companies are profitable, but they're small. The aging in place renovation companies are where the real growth is, because they're selling a story. The story of staying in your home. The story of independence. The story of not becoming a burden. That story is worth tens of billions of dollars, and it's growing faster than almost any other part of the senior care economy. Meanwhile, the nursing homes are stuck. They're the ones who have to deal with the failures, the hip fractures, the falls, the people who couldn't stay in their homes. And they're losing money doing it. That's the irony. The system is set up so that prevention pays better than treatment, but the treatment is still necessary because not everyone can prevent. Not everyone can afford the renovation. Not everyone has a single-story home to move into. So the nursing homes keep filling up, even as they lose money. That's the hidden economics of falling down. It's a system where the winners are the ones who convince you you'll never need them, and the losers are the ones who have to catch you when you do. It's not just about the injury. It's about the entire chain of industries that monetize the fear of that injury. And it's about the housing market that's quietly redesigning itself around the fact that people don't want to fall. Now, here's the part that should make you think. What if the stairs in your home aren't just stairs? What if they're a financial product? A product that generates $50 billion a year in medical costs. A product that feeds a $38 to $98 billion renovation industry. A product that drives people into nursing homes that are losing money. A product that's making home builders rethink the entire concept of the two-story house. That's a lot of power for something you walk on every day. And that's why this story matters. Because if you understand the economics of stairs after 70, you understand something bigger. You understand how capitalism turns ordinary objects into profit engines. You understand how incentives shape the world around you. You understand why the fix is more profitable than the failure. And you understand that the real money isn't in treating falls. It's in selling you the dream of never falling at all. This is the part where most documentaries would tell you what to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you what to notice. Notice which industries grow when you're afraid. Notice which products promise independence but cost a fortune. Notice how your own decisions change when mortality enters the room. That's the real lesson here. Not how to avoid stairs, but how to see the system behind them. So here's your homework. Look at your house. Look at the stairs. Ask yourself, who's making money off these steps? Is it the stairlift company? Is it the renovation contractor? Is it the nursing home down the road? Is it the home builder who sold you a single-story ranch? Or is it the healthcare system that's billing $50 billion a year for the privilege of watching you fall? The answer is probably all of them. And that's the hidden economics of falling down. If you made it this far, you're one of the good ones. You're the person who actually watches videos to the end. And I respect that. So here's my deal. If you learned something new today, if you saw your house in a different way, if you now understand who's making money off your fear of falling, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me what everyday object in your home you think secretly drives a hidden industry. Is it your shower? Your driveway? Your kitchen cabinets? Let's get a conversation going. Because the more we talk about this stuff, the more we see the hidden economics behind everything. And that's what this channel's all about. Hidden Profit Code. Decoding the hidden economics behind business, money, and modern life. Thanks for watching. And remember, the stairs aren't just stairs. They're a business model.